Hello and welcome to Mission Ghana, supported by Star Ghana with funding from UK Aid, Danida and the European Union. Now to our very first story, and they were admitted as day students, but circumstances have turned them into boarders. Students of the Logo Senior High School in the Upper West region have to go to market even on weekdays and cook their own food. Contact hours is lost and teachers cannot assure of quality period for teaching and learning.
These are the abilities of individuals. And I didn't get the other part of your definition.
These are the abilities of
in the classroom, but many cannot concentrate. That is what they told me. Like other students, they would have had lunch prepared for them. But it is not the same here at Logo Senior High School. This is the Logo community. This community hosts the Logo Senior High School, a day school. Due to the fact that there is inadequate decent accommodation, these students have had to come and use classrooms as dormitories. Students from Belinga, Kurupon, and even Goripe, and from the Volta and Bonahafo regions are all here as day students. But they have to be accommodated. This is their sleeping places. Classrooms converted into dormitories. It comes with challenges.
ambitious. You want to spell it out.
They trek to town to buy groceries. Preps is sometimes missed. Teachers cannot compel students to obey school rules related to time because they have to prepare their food first.
When we have lights out for just a day, that means that the student will have to find ways of getting water, and the nearest water source is the clinic. Far away from here is up to about 3 kilometers, and the student have to go and queue from somewhere like 3 a.m. So they come to class and you see them dozing, and then definitely has an impact on our the teaching and learning.
That is not all.
Sometimes the small time that I have to learn for myself or to use it to learn, that should be the time for me to use to cook. And in this case, I am using the little time to study ahead before going to class to do the cooking. So that is one of the challenges I'm facing here. Because it is not boarding school, we are using our dormitories as part of even our kitchen.
Logo Senior High School is in Logo in the Wa East district of the Upper West region. It is one of the community day schools. Students were to have come from nearby communities, but it is not so.
Very controversial because these children are admitted as day students. So the children are actually in difficulty. So the head and the board chairman came to me saying that if we could, once the classrooms, some classrooms are still empty for now, if we could let them use them as hostels for the students. And the permission was given that. But they signed a bond that when we enroll more students, then they will leave the classrooms for them and look for accommodation elsewhere.
It is a difficult situation for students. There is no means of transport on the compound.
The students are here, even though it's not a boarding system. When they are sick, we have to find ways of sending them to a clinic. And just not long ago, about 2 weeks ago, a student fainted in class. And we had to stop a car that was moving from the nearby village to Wa.
We were welcomed with one of such emergencies. Shocked students looked on while we drove away. She recovered and returned to school. School officials say help is needed.
I will plead that if there is any way, we need accommodation and we need a means of transport so that in case a student falls sick, currently we have a situation like that. How are we sending these students to the nearby health facility? So we just need a vehicle and then hostel facilities.
Other basic infrastructure is non-existent. A makeshift bathroom serves both girls and boys.
I appeal to stakeholders and community members, the chief and others, to see whether they can put up some rooms for renting, so that at least, or I went to this ensemble, whether they could even put up a hostel and rent it out to the students. And they said they were going to look at it.
While the Regional Education Directorate appeals, the District Assembly says constructing a boarding facility is beyond its means.
300 students were placed there, and already 196 students have reported. That is twice of last year's figure. It's beyond the capacity of the assembly, because we need the intervention of the central government and other NGOs and people who are well-wished for the school.
The students are not perturbed by this. A bright future is ahead of them despite the challenges. They have braced themselves up for the 3-year journey ahead. Perhaps they may benefit from the $40 million facility approved by Parliament for the Secondary Education Improvement Project.
Certainly not a pleasant situation there. Let's move on. Their promotion to the next class will depend on how effective they can cope with both curriculum and extracurricular work in school. This is the ordeal of Haruna Ibrahim, who has been repeated in Basic 6 because of his poor performance.
All work and no play, they say, makes Jack a dull boy. Thursdays, just like any other weekday, is usually a busy day for both students and teachers of the Zinga DA Basic School in the Kasina Nankana West District of the Upper East region. Established in 2011, the Zinga DA School has 9 classes with a total student population of 473, from kindergarten 1, 2, Basic 1 up to an unapproved junior high school 1. This is Basic 6 classroom. The reception upon our arrival was great. It was time to check the class register, and that was when I noticed Ibrahim Haruna.
Present. Is Haruna in the classroom? Yes.
Just like his classmates, Ibrahim Haruna was expected to respond "Present, Madam," at the mention of his name by his class teacher. This is just one of the Herculean tasks faced by his teachers, who have seen him through kindergarten 1 to Basic 6.
Stand up and say one water-related diseases no. Stand up, Haruna. Stand up and mention one water-related diseases you know. You don't know. You forget.
Ibrahim Haruna is 16 years. He should have completed junior high school per his age, but is still in Basic 6 because he did not start school early, regarded. Though hearing impaired, Ibrahim Haruna has pulled through in the mainstream school to be in Basic 6. Sadly, he was denied a promotion to junior high school in the 2017 academic year. The headmaster of the Zinga DA school, Isaaku Clement, says Ibrahim Haruna needs to pull his weight.
The reason why he was repeated is we want to see whether he will be able to cope up. Because if we push him to JHS, he cannot cope up with those he was with. That's why we will have appealed to the government if they can help us with hearing impaired instruments.
Ibrahim Haruna is the eldest in his class. This gives him an edge over his mates, thus creates room for a little bullying. But that is not reason enough for his mates to desert him academically. For his mates, a little effort to pull Haruna along is all they can afford. Thus they do by miming sentences with eye contact for him to repeat.
One is what? Yellow fever. Haruna, put and down say one is what? Yellow fever.
His class teacher, Felicia Derry, tells me that Ibrahim Haruna has one of the best handwriting in the class. She recounts her moment with him in her new class.
It's always punctual. Every day you have been coming to school, you never become absent the days off. It's always very present all the time. Very hard working. The only problem is learning in the classroom. Even the garden there, when latecomers, they ask latecomers to go and work, you see Haruna working with them.
This is the kindergarten 2 class. It has 83 pupils instead of a maximum of 45 pupils. The class has 2 physically challenged pupils, Amanba Naomi and Abenjen Kumange. In the same class is Emmanuel Apa Prince, the 3rd physically challenged pupil. Prince is not a registered pupil but comes to school each day with his grandma, who is a teacher. In the absence of a special school for children with disabilities in the Katsina-Nankana West District, Prince's grandma, a nursery 2 teacher, finds solace bringing him along to school each day. In here again are 3 visually impaired pupils, Ayaga Faustina, Apenduga Francis, and Anne Akwagwe Kelvin. In totality, 6 pupils in kindergarten 2 are living with different forms of disabilities. Ghana's 2014 all-inclusive education policy seeks to offer equal opportunities to education in mainstream education to persons with disability and insists on enabling conditions for persons with disability. But how well are they being cared for? The Zinger School has no textbooks and lesson notes for pupils and teachers. Sitting in an unapproved junior high school would be a preferred choice than being repeated in same class. For pupils like Ibrahim Haruna, Ayaga Faustina, and the rest, a conducive classroom, access to educational logistics like textbooks and a meal a day, and disability-friendly environment are all they need to stay in school. Zubaida Ismail, TV3 News, Zena.
Well, that's it for Mission Ghana. Join us same time next week for another edition. Mission Ghana is brought to you by Star Ghana with funding from European Union, Danida, and UK Aid.